Hello everybody, welcome back to the Food and Drink Chronicles, and today we're gonna cook on the Ooni pizza oven. Let's do this. Alright, if you guys have not seen the last video, you're gonna wanna pause this video and watch it, where we unbox the Ooni oven. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over all the stuff that we're gonna be using today. So I have this. This we use to scoop the pizza. It is called a pizza peel, and it has holes in it to make it easier to take out the pizza. Now I also have this big metal Ooni pizza peel. I have an Ooni pizza turner to turn the pizza. This is definitely a must. So if you get the pizza cooker, you're gonna wanna get a turner because you have to flip that pizza around, and this just makes it much easier. And I have a wooden pizza peel to put the pizza on once the pizza is done and cooked. This is the heat gun, because on the Ooni itself, the only thing that you have is an ambient temperature gauge, which doesn't actually measure the temperature of the stone. This, you just shoot at it, you point and hold, and it'll tell you what the reading is for the stone. It's a really cool device. All right, so right now I got some dough that's just resting. I'm waiting for it to warm up a little bit because it is fairly cool. And actually it's really cold outside. So I don't know if you saw me out there whenever I lifted up that cover. It's really cold in Central Texas. It's about 30 degrees right now. All right, so before we get into making this pizza, I just wanna go over some problems that we've had in the past. So last week I made a video and we were cooking our pizza and we had some issues with it. So whenever we transfer the pizza into the Ooni oven, it turned into a flatbread. So instead of it being round, you know, it kind of just did not want to come off the right way, and it just kind of got oval shaped. So this is gonna happen. Whenever you're cooking these pizzas, just be aware that you're gonna run into problems. It's just the nature of the beast. Now with the other pizza that we made, that one was perfectly round. Now I did get a little chart on the top because we had a lot of fire going, and that fire was just engulfing the entire oven. It was just flames galore. But it got to a really great temperature, and it actually it cooked the pizza really quickly. Now the only problem that we had with that pizza was that it was a little bit raw on the bottom, so we had to cut our pizza and put it back in to the Ooni oven for about a minute or so. The pizza was still relatively hot when we put it back in the oven, so it was no problem at all. All right, now that I got that out of the way, we're gonna wait for a little bit for this dough to kind of warm up, and we'll start making the pizza. All right, so before you even make your pizza, before you even take the dough out and start spreading it and all that, you're gonna wanna heat up your Ooni oven first. All right, I'm gonna start out with adding my charcoal first. And you need quite a bit of charcoal. And I do recommend getting some tongs so it makes it easier to move everything around. All right, that's plenty of charcoal. So now I'm gonna add my fire starters, 2 of them to be exact. And I do have some pretty big logs of wood here, but I'm just gonna put those to the side. And you wanna make sure you still have access to your fire starters. Try to make sure that my door can still close once I'm done here. It's a lot of firewood. All right, and now we light. Perfect. So you're gonna let it sit here for a little bit while it's open, and then once it kind of starts to cook off a bit more, you can put that top back on and look in the inside and make sure that it's burning right. All right, so a couple other things while you're letting that fire burn, just make sure that this is in the up position to where it's open. That way it's letting out the oxygen and the fire can burn better. These vents here do serve the same purpose. That's closed, that's open. You want them opened. Now you can close the vents once you actually decide to put the pizza in. This will prevent, you know, the flames from getting too engulfed in the inside, and it'll slow them down, okay? All right, let's put the top on. All right, closed pretty well. Fire's looking pretty good. We're just gonna let it burn. All right, so again, this thermometer that came with the oven This checks the ambient temperature, and right now it's at 109, 110. It should be going up pretty quickly, but I'm waiting for it to go up to at least, I would say 400 to 600 before I start preparing my pizza. All right, another thing that I have that I'm not a big fan of using is I actually have this converter that I can use for using propane. Now the way that this works is that you have to crank it up to the most highest heat, and it is just going to, make a big large flame that comes out. And it's gonna cook, it's gonna take a little bit longer for it to actually heat up the stone. I'd say instead of it taking about 15 minutes, which is how long it would take with wood and charcoal, it actually takes about half an hour. And once you've actually gotten to that temperature, before you put your pizza in, you just lower it so that way, your pizza doesn't get burnt to a crisp, and you can put it back in there. But what I've noticed though is that the temperature drops down significantly quicker. So I just don't use this. Now what I do use is I prefer using like charcoal. I'll stack charcoal on top, I'll put my fire starters, and then I'll put my blocks of wood on top. Now once I heat it up, it takes about 15 minutes for it to heat up. And I mean, it just makes a huge fire, and in no time, you're ready to cook a pizza. Right now the ambient temperature gauge is at 900. So right now it's pretty warm on the stone, I would think. But you know what? I need to check it with the gun. So the back of the stone is at a perfect temperature. Front of the stone is a little bit cooler. And I think I have not too many flames, so I think this is actually perfect for cooking right now. All right, now the pizza's ready. Perfect. Now we're just gonna let it rest for a little bit, and then I'll spin it. All right, so this is where the Ooni comes in handy. The spinner. Yeah, sorry about my dogs in the background. They're playing. And that is a perfect piece of pizza. A little personal pizza, but still, I mean, it's got good charring. It's cooked all the way. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with this one. All right, well, the first pizza turned out pretty good, so we're on to the second one. Think it's cooked on the bottom?
Yeah.
Looks really good. All right, another good pizza. All right, once your pizza's done, go ahead and transfer it to one of these trays right here. So what this does is it prevents the bottom from getting soggy. All right, let's give this a try. So we use scissors to cut it. I'm just gonna cut the pizza in half here. So the crust is cooked perfectly well. Not too bad. Didn't take long to cook it at all. It was pretty quick. All right, so I'm gonna give a little piece of it a try and see if it's good. All right, we used organic traditional pizza sauce, and it's really good. It's not it doesn't make the bread soggy at all. We just put a thin layer of it. And we also used the H-E-B pizza cheese, and we used uncured pepperoni. So the way that my wife makes the bread, she uses what's called poolish, which is a double fermentation process. It makes the dough a little bit fluffier, and it doesn't feel as dense. And that's what this is. This is the best way to make pizza. Well, anyways, that's gonna do for my video. And again, if you guys have not seen the unboxing video, you need to check that out. So I have an unboxing video for the Ooni. It's pretty crazy. It was a lot to unbox, a lot to unpack, but it was interesting. Anyways, if you guys have not subscribed, please subscribe. I will catch you on the next video. Food and Drink Chronicles out. So good.